Just want to make sure you see this again. So there's two welcomes.
Okay. They told me when the green light comes on, that's when you talk. The red light is on. Okay, our next speaker, Debra Dunn-Yonke. She's a senior trainer from Burkesville, California, and she's going to speak on how to enjoy your Tai Chi from a beautiful view, learning from a lion, Mr. Pepper, and me.
Good morning. So we've heard some really inspiring ways in which to climb the Tai Chi mountain and have a higher view. I have a somewhat different approach. There were some of you who approached me and said, wow, Deborah, who's your master? How do you practice Tai Chi, or what do you do to make Tai Chi your own? And I thought about it some, and I really have to attribute it to, I've had many great master teachers. The first was my mother and grandmother. My mother is 92 now, and her mother really taught me a lot of things. But I also had wonderful friends and teachers in all of you, from participants to senior trainers to master trainers in the community that we share. But I have a very new master that I glean so much from his wisdom. So I want to share it with you today. Yes, the secret is revealed. I know. Introducing, this is Mr. Pepper, my 92-year-old mother's, he's now 2, Shih Tzu puppy, and he is a hot mess. But it's amazing how you can learn so many things from actually non-Tai Chi things. You can be really inspired by so many different types of attributes that he has. Some fun facts about the Shih Tzu is one of the origins of its names is derived from the word lion. Lessons from a lion. And sometimes he's referred to as the Chinese lion dog. And yes, he does rule things. He is in charge. He makes it happen. He really does. The other thing, there's some really other fun things and really interesting facts about the Shih Tzu is that they're very social. They're very, very affectionate. They are very, very close to their humans, companions. They like operating in groups. They are very kind of packish. But they're also, they really do acquiesce, and they love to become affectionate to also and snuggle with even just one partner, one person. So he has a really wide range of attributes, and I think that are gifts that we can all learn from. So I have about 4 points to share with you that I've learned from Mr. Pepper. Okay. The first is whenever he comes, when he's ready to just come and do something with you, he'll come and sit down quietly in front of you and just wait. So he's quiet and still, but he's quick to listen, slow to speak, so to speak, so it's not a lot of barking. And he's never angry. He's always ready to have fun and play. And those are some great attributes that we can take in and inspire us into our own Tai Chi as well. Otherwise, how else would you be able to aspire and grow your own dreams if you're not so quick to listen to the incoming force, like Dr. Lamb and so many others have said, or redirect it for your own use. Lesson number 2. Read. Mr. Pepper is really good not only at reading faces and movements, But he does that in order to be able to learn more about the subject or the people or the things that he interacts with. And he also does that in order to encourage us to give him something that he needs. For example, Mr. Pepper now does this thing. He'll sit, if he wants something from you, he'll sit in front of you and get on his hind legs and do this. Almost like, I was like, no, you didn't. And we'll fight for like my mother's attention, so he'll get there. I was like, I can do that too. Excuse me? No. You can learn from a lion. But it's important that the art that we have is also, it's not only a physical art, but it's intellectual. There's methods to it, there's history behind it. It's important that you also know a little bit more about what you're doing and some of the reasons that can inspire you to the why. So reading can be really, really important. Third point is actually, it has two little subpoints, that's why I named it 4, and it's a part of sharing. Sharing is a part of a whole community. He is really, really gung-ho about anything and everything new. And he wants to share and play over and over and over and over. But also what sharing does is it ties you into a broader community of people. You learn and glean from each other, your habits, the practices that work well. And when you do that, you're actually sharing ideas, and the ideas grow into a much bigger form of play. And then finally, the last part, open your circle of influence. All of us are different, but we all form this wonderful tapestry of a number of ways in which we can contribute to Tai Chi, including Shih Tzu puppies. So try to also enact and be a part of communities and families that maybe don't look like you. That's really, really important. You count, but also others contribute to your growth as well. So by the way, the picture that I showed you earlier, that's now disappeared. Okay, it's gone. But anyway, the picture that I showed you earlier is him was right before I was leaving, and it was kind of more like, please don't go. We're a pack, aren't we? We're still a pack. And yes, and that's the biggest takeaway that I got from him, is that once you become connected to our community, you're always a part of our community. So be inspired. Thank you.